listing system, where from there it goes to sites like realtor.com, nwmyhome.com, and other companies, okay? It's gonna go to Zillow, it's gonna go to Trulia.com. So you want the house to show beautiful from when the minute that someone's looking at the house on their cell phone, okay? So that all they have to do is just go look at the property and make you a really good offer, okay? A whole different topic, a whole different episode with Jose Talks. And also, you wanna have your house ready for showings, okay? Be open to letting people into your home, okay? Maybe you want to get, I always tell my sellers, get rid of your personal photos, any jewelry you may have, get rid of all that, any prescription, just hide all that, take it with you. But you want to be open to letting people into your home, okay? I know it's going to feel a little awkward, but it's part of the process. And try to always approve those showings, because the more showings we get, the higher opportunity that we're going to get for your house to sell for top dollar. So always be open for that. Have all the lights on for any potential buyer. Hey, another thing I want to talk to you about is that there may be some agents who are going to show up late, because maybe they were showing a different property, or maybe, things happen, so sometimes be open to that. Be open that maybe someone's not going to show up. And so again, the more showings we get, here's some examples of non-professional photos and professional. Let's talk about decluttering. Look, if you look at the photo on the left, they have a lot of stuff on top of the cabinets, on the walls, on the countertops. You want to get rid of all that. Look at the refrigerator. Okay, you want to get rid of everything on the refrigerator. Make sure you clean it, do a deep clean. So it shows super good on the photos and in person, okay? Look at the one on the right, that you don't see nothing on the counters, nothing on the table, you only have a centerpiece. Blinds are open for the photos, all the lights are working. That's what I would recommend for you to do, okay? This is just an example. Hiring a professional photographer makes a huge difference, okay? Look at the picture on the left versus the picture on the right. The picture on the left is probably someone who took a photo with a camera, or cell phone, I'm sorry. And the one on the right was probably like a professional camera. Look at all the lighting, all the lights are on, and versus the one on the left, it looks very dark. There's so many gadgets that photographers have where they can showcase all the good features on the property. So here's some examples. The photo on the very top on the left. Again, the lights are not on. The one on the right, they are. You can see it's very clean on the right. A professional photographer will take a picture where they can actually see the whole living room and the whole kitchen. And they're going to tell you exactly what to do. Your agent's going to walk you through all this as well. That's what I do. And it's actually fun to do this, because I always joke around with my sellers, you're going to love your house so much, how it's going to look in the photos, you're probably not going to want to sell. And so that's cool. I love doing that. I don't mind telling people on how to get their house ready for the professional photos. I enjoy it. And look at the second photo on the center. Again, they have the blinds open on the right, the one on the left, it's closed. All the lights are working, very clean. You can just tell it's professional. And I always like to have professional photographers where they're going to showcase a house, where they're not going to put, a blue cloud or put green grass when it's actually, snowing outside, or we want to be transparent. We want to be clear, so that buyers, when they go into the property, they can actually say, oh, this is what I've seen. It actually looks better in person, or, we want them to know that in person is going to look better versus the photos, okay? The photo is just going to give them an idea. The one on the left, the laundry room versus the one on the right, someone who has the gadgets to showcase, because those are small rooms. And so we want to make sure that they have the gadget to showcase the entire laundry room versus the one on the left where it's just one. It's probably a camera. What to do in a multiple offer situation. Let's say that we have a lot of buyers in your property in the first week, and then next thing you know is you have a lot of offers. That's going on a lot right now in the seller's market. This is why right now it's a very good time to put your house in the market, because sellers really have control right now. And so you have control of which offer is best for you. You just need to let your agent know what you want to do in a multiple offer situation. Do you just want to go with the first one? Do you want to go with the second one? Bottom line is, you're the boss. You're the one who tells us what to do. We just do what you tell us, you know. But if you're going to say, okay, we're going to look at offers in 5 days, we have to respect that 5 days. You know, even if you get a really good offer in the first 2 days and it's a cash offer and you really like it, it's good to respect, you know, what we said, you know, give agents the 5 days so they can show the house to a potential buyer. You want to understand the terms of the offer as well. Okay, make sure your agent can tell you and also give you a copy of the offers, so you can understand each offer, understand the terms. You know, you want to understand um, the closing date. You want to understand date of possession. You know, when do you need to move out? Do you have to do any repairs? You know, most of the houses listed in the multi-listing system, the Northwest Arkansas MLS, um, typically it's a 10 business days for inspection. You want to know if the buyer's going to give you an earnest money. You want to know other terms, you know, what kind of financing, what type of financing, are they pre-qualified? You know, we want to make sure that we provide you with someone who's ready to buy, you know. And a lot of times what we do as agents, we call the lender, and we talk to them and say, hey, how do you feel about this borrower? You know, you feel good? Have you verified income? Have you verified employment? Have you verified funds? You know, we want to make sure it's not just a pre-qualification, and hopefully it's from someone local, right? Someone who we've worked with before, so that we can share that information with you. You know, because many things can happen. You may have something under contract and the contract may fall through because of financing. You know, a lot of times we don't have control about that, of their financing. But if we can kind of check all that information on the front end and get more comfortable with it, why not? Okay. On any offer that you get, you want to understand what net sheet you have. You know, how much money are you going to take home after that closing? You want to know that, because remember, from the beginning, you're expecting something. Okay. And if you're going to buy another house, you want to be able to net what you told your lender. Okay. So that it doesn't change anything. So, you know, typically you have 24, 48 hours to respond to an offer. So that's going to give you time to talk to your lender and make sure that everything looks good for your financing. Also, the appraisal is contingent upon the appraisal. Um, the appraisal, that's for the buyer. The buyer pays for that. It's going to cost them 500. It's through a third party, so it's not like the lender is working with the buyer. You know, to say, okay, this is what hopefully this appraisal is for. No, the lenders, they have a third party company, and they order the appraisal through a system. Lenders do not have contact with the appraiser. Okay, just so you know. So it's very neutral. So it protects both the buyer and the seller and the lender. Okay. So that's a good thing about the new policies nowadays, is that they're strict for a reason. You know, they're not strict because you're trying to make people's lives miserable or hard, but they want to be fair with everybody, fair with the housing market, right? The buyer has 10 business days to do an inspection. You know, when they do the inspection, they may do it themselves, or they may hire a third party to do an inspection. If you do your pre-inspection, a lot of times they may call the same inspector and say, hey, can you go and verify this again, make sure everything's done, make sure there's not new items, or they may just order a whole new inspector, right? And that's fine, that's totally fine. We want to give that buyer that time for that peace of mind that they're getting themselves into a good property. And so once they do the inspection, they have 10 business days. Well, they have 10 business days from day of contract to do the inspection and negotiate any repairs. That's called the inspection repair survey addendum, where they present that to you. We present that to you as your agent, and it's going to list items. They may say no repairs. They may say we want to fix this, and that, and you have 5 business days to respond back saying, yes, I'll fix all that, or no, I will not fix none of that, or I'll fix this, but I won't fix that, or maybe I can give you a credit towards closing costs or something. Okay, so everything's negotiable. Then they have 5 business days to respond. So we want to get this inspection as soon as possible. We try to, even though the buyer has 10 business days to do an inspection, we really want to try and get that much quicker for you so that you can have a peace of mind on the next process, okay? So by that time, once you're under contract, your lender is going to do titles. I'm not your lender. The title company is going to do title search, make sure there's no judgments against the property, mechanic liens, or any liens, any tax liens against the seller, against the buyer. The bank's going to want to know that too. And so we basically want to give clear title. And so typically title companies right now, they're extremely busy. So before it was like 5 days to get a clear title, but now it's taking anywhere between 5 and 10 days to get clear title. But we want to do that title search as soon as possible, okay? Because if there's any red flags, we want to be able to take care of all that as soon as possible, not wait 5 days, before the closing. Typically, a closing takes anywhere between 30 to 45 days. That depends on the bank, depends on the loan type, it depends on many other factors, right? It depends on what you negotiated as well for your closing date. Once we have everything ready, once they've done the inspection, appraisal, insurance, once they've done all that, it's about 30 to 45 days. You want to have your house nice and clean for the new owners. You want to give them a house to enjoy the first day to move in. I always tell my sellers, just have the house clean, get rid of any debris, any trash, check the attic, make sure the landscaping looks good. If it's summertime, make sure there's no weeds, make sure, that you've mowed the yard. Just take everything that's personal, right? If you negotiated a refrigerator for it to convey, make sure you follow that, make sure that you don't have to come back and bring that refrigerator back. Typically what conveys with a property with appliances is the range, microwave, and dishwasher. Refrigerator is typically negotiable. You can always negotiate that. You also want to call utility companies when you close, when you actually get your check, okay? Because you don't want to, call the utilities. Let's say you're scheduled to close on the 15th of the month. You don't want to, and then let's say something happened last minute where we have to extend for another 3 days. You don't want to be out of service, right, with your utility companies. I always tell my sellers, call them when you have your check, okay? That way it gives the buyers time to call the utilities companies themselves, because you just don't want to be without utilities for the seller or for the buyer, okay? You also want to call your insurance agent. Make sure you let them know when you close. Let them know, hey, I've closed. I'm moving to this new property. Make sure you do a change of address with the USPS.gov. Make sure you go online and do that as well. I know this part is going to be very stressful and it's going to be very emotional, okay? But this is why you have your agent, so that your agent can just guide you, hold your arm, and hold your hand, and just take you to the next step. And, I know a lot of times sellers have made so many memories in their home, so it's very emotional, okay? But this is why it's good to have an agent, because so many things can happen. Nothing's perfect, but we want to be the ones to be there to guide you and help you through this process. We're almost done, by the way. There's so many things that agents do. It's not just what I talked to you about. There's actually more. But if we were to go detail by detail, we would be going on for like probably 3 hours, and I don't want to do that. So just so you can kind of see, this is a kind of picture of what many people see in real estate, right? But there's actually more to it, okay? From pre-listing activities, listing appointment presentation, after listing agreement is signed, entering the information